Hello and welcome back. Another week with some people that I've come in contact with that I would call a friend, at minimum a colleague. So today we've got a young lady by the name of Ryan Alexandra Cecil.
Alexandra. Ryan's
Yeah.
fine.
So my son's middle name is Alexander. So that's
okay.
why I'm not a weird stalker. It's just
Well, it has to be my Facebook name because my husband's name is Ryan.
Yes.
So I have to have the middle name in my.
you're the only person
yes.
that I know that married the same name
I know.
of their husband.
We're
which
weird.
Is awesome. A veteran, a terminated warehouse employee,
Manager. I was
sorry.
a manager.
And somebody that I've gotten to know through the magic of social media, but then also I think we've become a little bit more than just Facebook friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So somebody I admire and watching the growth of her business, and she doesn't do it the same way everybody else does, which is maybe caught you a little bit of flack here and there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But she is committed to her brand and her clients and where she grew up. And I think that's some of the power of how you've grown your business so successfully. So Ryan Cecil, tell us about you.
Oh, well, gosh, there's so much to tell. I don't think we have enough time.
Well,
but
we can
just
stuff. Yeah.
wing it.
Yeah.
So, got licensed in real estate in February 2021.
Okay.
After losing my corporate warehouse management position, I was there for 6 years. And then, got terminated during COVID, like right in the middle. I just hit my 4-year anniversary for that. And I was already taking real estate classes. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do this and see what happens. Documented my whole journey. And 4 years later, here we are, top producer and just having fun. I've got 2 great kids, an amazing husband whose name is also Ryan. And they're keeping us very busy these days with sports.
Now, was your husband in the Navy as well?
No, he was in the Marines.
He's a Marine.
Yes, he's a Marine.
So, and Ryan was a
Sailor.
Sailor.
Yeah, I was in the Navy.
Yeah. Do you call women sailors?
Yes.
I almost said another word that would.
What other word?
A sea woman?
No.
A sea woman?
Look, seaman is actual a rate in the Navy, and I was an airman. I was an ABH. So
Okay.
no.
So you drove, you helped fly your husband around.
There on my ship, it was mainly there was more Marines because I was on an amphib, so there were more Marines than there were actual sailors.
An amphibious vehicle?
Amphibious assault ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Yeah.
Where were you stationed?
I was in Norfolk on the USS Iwo Jima. It was commissioned in 2001, and I did its maiden deployment in 2003 after the war first started. Okay. And then I did another deployment in 2006. It's about 4.5, almost 5 years, and then got out. And
so you were deployed to the Middle East?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we were the Marine taxi cab taking them over there.
Yeah. Making sure is that where you met your husband?
No, actually we met, but when we both got out in the beginning of 2007, we had both moved back home and I was friends with his cousin Chris and we were all hanging out and we met and we were actually both dating people named Jesse before we got together. Like I'm telling you, we're weird.
And if your name's Ryan, you could probably fit into their circle somewhere.
Yes. But we met and the rest is history.
Awesome. So you have 2 kids, a rabbit, and a dog?
No dogs, just the rabbit.
Just a rabbit.
Mr. Ned is our only pet. He's a Holland Lop. He's 3, and he's awesome. He's free roam. He's litter trained. He just runs around our house like a cat.
What got you into adopting a bunny?
So my friend Sarah, who I followed on Instagram, she got Mr. Ned as like a baby bunny when she lived here in Louisville. And I'd never even thought about having a rabbit as a pet. But when she decided to move to Hawaii with her husband, they couldn't take him. And so I was like, oh, he's so cute. I'm like, and I just fell in love with him. So I asked when she was trying to rehome him, I said, Sarah, I was like, I would love to have him. And I think one of the reasons why she chose me is because she knew she would end up still seeing him on social media because I would post pictures of him on social media and stuff. But the day that Sarah came over to bring us Mr. Ned, now she grew up with my husband, so she knows how he is hunting and everything. My husband came home from rabbit hunting with like 13 dead rabbits.
Oh my goodness.
And Sarah she was cracking up and I was like, don't worry, Mr. Ned, we're not going to eat you. Okay. Like we're not going to do that. But no, he's the best pet.
Does he like literally moves around the house like a cat?
Oh yeah. He has free roam of our house. Like he's litter trained. He sleeps in the living room.
Okay.
He most of the time under the couch. He really likes going under the couch.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's awesome though. He's funny.
And both your boys?
I have a daughter and a son.
Yep. Yeah. The son plays baseball.
Yes.
Is he still playing?
Yes. Son plays baseball, flag football. Daughter plays softball, volleyball, basketball. She had to choose. She couldn't do flag football this year, and golf. So
good.
they keep us busy. Like our sports schedules tonight, like Ryan's going one direction, I'm going the other because she's got a Kiva tournament for school, but it's fun.
I love kids' sports and I hate them at the same time.
Yeah.
We literally Claire takes at least one of our kids. Like we're literally going 6 ways to Sunday every single day.
I don't know how people have more than 2 kids.
Right.
I look at
we had to hire an executive assistant now. She takes Reese to horseback riding all the time.
Yeah. Some of our friends, they have like 4 kids and then they're also involved in coaching because my husband coaches too. And I'm like, how do y'all do that? Like, and we're lucky we have grandparent support and stuff like that.
So let's start with our roots that grow up in the same part of Louisville called the South End.
South End.
Yeah. My wife says South End rise up all the time. So what about the South End? Because and this is not being derogatory. There's a lot of people in Louisville that think maybe look down their nose at the South End.
Oh, yeah.
And you've embraced it and said, these are my people. This is what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is.
I love the South End. I feel like our community is so strong, and something like, I guess I really didn't realize how strong we were until when a close family friend of mine, her daughter was killed on Dixie Highway a couple years ago. Her name was Madeline Trout. She was killed on Dixie Highway, and an addict hit her, and it was so tragic. And the way our community rallied around the Trout family and just like supported them and helped them through that, I think that's really when it set in just how close the South End is. And like those high schools out there where people grew up, the Butlers and the PRPs and Valley, those are just roots that they don't go away. Yeah. And I really noticed that during that time.
And if they do leave, they all go to Mount Washington.
Yeah, what?
They recolonize.
That is true. Yeah. That's true.
Well,
I just love the South End. I love our small local businesses. I've become really good friends with so many small business owners since I became a real estate agent, just trying to share knowledge and put on events for our community. And we've got some other really cool things that are happening in the works. I actually had a meeting about it this morning.
Anything you can divulge? This will be about a month or so before it gets edited. Sorry, not edited.
No, so we're doing our trunk or treat. This is our 3rd year for that. And then we have our big Light Up Valley Station event, which is getting bigger every single year. But we're putting together Valley Station Chamber of Commerce.
Awesome.
So we don't have that currently in the South End. So we are in the process of putting that together and getting all the documents finalized.
Does Shavley or PRP have a Chamber of Commerce?
I'm not sure. Shavley might. So
when you say South End, what are you talking? Shavley, PRP?
Well, for South End, that's what I'm talking about. But when the Chamber of Commerce is going to be specifically for Valley Station.
Even more hyper local to Valley Station.
Just for the Chamber of Commerce, yes. But otherwise, like the South End, we even throw Preston in there. So
yeah,
a little bit of Preston.
Southern Jefferson County. It's funny trying to explain to people what the South End is. It's not really in the South End of now.
I know.
Greater metro, right?
Yeah.
And it was the old city limits. That was the South End of the old city limits, and then you had the county around it.
Yep.
So people were like, "Oh, I'm down in the South End." I'm like, "No, Oklahoma's not really the South End."
Yeah, we throw them a bone every now and then. But I'm more Valley Station, PRP, Charlie, even like Beachmont, Iroquois. That's kind of like the core.
And so we talk about laughing jokingly that if you leave the South End, you're probably going to go to Bullitt County, Mount Washington, Shepherdsville. My family grew up in Portland. And my mom and dad were the uppity ones that were leaving Portland to go to Shavley.
Oh, okay.
But then, there's a lot of people that grew up in Portland that moved to the South End. And so it's interesting, and I don't know what dynamic it is about that, but there is these core groups of people in probably any community, but I see it in Louisville that just stay together.
Yeah.
And if one group moves, the other group goes with them.
Yeah, it's wild, especially I've noticed it also in the Catholic community out there. Because my kids are in private school, and my husband went to school out there. So,
and my family was Catholic too, so that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, these kids just stick together throughout all of it. I love it.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is where my kids are.
Okay. What are the other schools? There used to be St. Polycarp, St. Paul.
Right. So there's still St. Paul. There's St. Andrew, St. Nicholas.
Okay.
And of course Notre Dame. But those are kind of
OLC still.
I think that one merged. I don't. You can ask my husband that.
I just
don't
remember.
know.
So my family was Catholic. I was not a practicing Catholic.
I was
but
not
I went
either.
to a lot of picnics, and that's how I knew which parish was where based on which picnic we
Same.
went to. So, all right, let's talk about your business because you were in a pretty stable corporate job as a manager of a warehouse. You were messing around with social media a little bit before. Maybe, I don't know, were you intentional about it at that time, or was it just kind of just...
It was 2020. I was bored in the house. You know, everybody got TikTok. That was the thing. And I had been making TikToks like a year before my account even blew up, but I was just making it as like time-lapse videos for my workouts because I've always been on social media.
Are you Body? Are you in social, like Beachbody?
No, I do Fit Body Boot Camp.
Body,
I love Fit Body.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was using TikTok well before I even knew what I was doing. But then in 2020, I just started making videos about like being silly, day drinking mom, staying home, just being bored. None of it made any sense because TikTok, it wasn't really what it is now back then.
Right.
And I'd always wore my company work shirts in my social media videos. So when I did it on TikTok, I didn't think it was a big deal.
Right.
But when my account started growing and I think once I got over 50,000 followers, they were like, well, I don't think this is going to work. You know, they basically said, we don't think you're management material. And they
little did they know.
let me go. Yeah, right. And that's fine. It's fine. But I think it was during COVID and they were just trying to cut like some heads, upper level management. That's fine.
Yeah.
It was the biggest blessing in my life.
Yeah.
It changed my life. Telling my husband I got fired for social media was really embarrassing because he hates social media.
Right.
But it changed my life. You know, it brought Daryl Isaacs into my life. He reached out to me about his social media and just so many good people that I've met through that app and through social media. So it's crazy.
I brought that up because I just know it to be a unique point in your business trajectory.
It's like my claim to fame.
Yeah. Is it something that you like you really do you, I guess, do you own it? Like, or is it just something?
Oh yeah, I own it 100%. You know, and I really think my story is good because I didn't let that define me and I didn't dwell on it. And I knew that I could do something much bigger and better.
Right.
And just being authentic and sharing my story has helped me get to where I am today.
What brought you? Is that just an innate thing that you saw with social media, or were you educated? Were you following certain people? It's like, you know what? I'm not seeing anybody do this around here. This is something I want to do.
That was just me being me.
Okay.
I literally didn't have any rhyme or reason behind what I was posting on
you just
TikTok.
like people looking at you.
Well, basically, you know, a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. No, not at all. But I just like making funny videos. Like this morning, I literally hit a red light on every light in Dixie Highway.
Right.
So I made a video about it. And, you know, that's relatable to people. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, what do you love about living on Dixie Highway? And like people are commenting and sharing my video. And like, I just want to be relatable and people to feel like they know me. Like I don't post a lot of real estate content on my TikTok.
Right.
It's very rare that I do. I just post about myself. I post silly videos, but people know that I'm a real estate agent. So
In front of mine. So are you, let's dissect this a little bit. So you said TikTok, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram.
You name a social media, I'm on it.
Snap. What is there one out there that's rising that we don't know about? Because honestly, I will tell you, Chelsea Wood, I told you 10 years ago we
I
needed
have a
to
deal
get
going with her right now. I love her.
Really?
I love Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's amazing. And I was like, we need to figure this TikTok thing out. She's like, I don't know. We're barely doing Facebook. Why we got to do TikTok?
Yeah.
But, I love Chelsea and her husband Craig. Have you met them?
I have not. I mean, I've closed with Chelsea before, and now we've got another one going on right now. So
Congrats. That's awesome. Makes me happy. happy. But what rabbit hole was I going at? What, Mr.
like
Ned?
what social media, is there anything up and coming, I guess?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm on all the major ones. I don't put a lot of focus on the newer ones. There's one called Lemon 8 that is...
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, so there's that one's like up and coming. It's sort of like a sister site to TikTok, so it will link to your TikTok. I haven't posted a lot on it. I don't really know much about it yet, but I'm trying to get into it. You know, I do LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. Instagram is big for my educational content.
Okay.
I post a lot of my real estate content on my Instagram. But I mean, you know, some people still do that one that you have to take a picture when it tells you to. I don't even remember what that one was called.
Snapchat?
No, I don't mess with that either. That's the only reason I'm on Snapchat is because my family has a group setting that they only send pictures in Snapchat. That's literally the only reason I'm on Snapchat. If you add me, I don't know what's going on there. So
every one of these, I've thought, what is the purpose? And I can't get past Snap. The only reason you would, in my mind, the only reason you do Snapchat is to like either cheat on your wife or talk shit about somebody so nobody can catch.
But it's so funny. One of my sisters, that's the only thing she's on. And like, so that's how I see most of the photos of my nephew. But yeah, and it's like silly pictures that we can post that's not for everybody to see. Yeah. So that's literally the only reason I'm on it.
Right. That's a good time to get the coffee machine going. We've been trying to get that to work for 3 months. And
Are you serious?
They figured it out right in the middle of our podcast. Love it. All right. So social media for you, I can go down different paths, but I get really hyper focused on the real estate professional and what activities they need to be doing to grow their business. And we talk about lead generation all the time. And this has been mind numbing for me as people go, I do all my lead generation on social media, or I want to do social media for my lead generation. And then all they're doing is putting pictures out there. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you're kind of missing the point. You are marketing.
What's the value you're providing?
What value? Providing, and then how are you using that to bring leads into your business? Are you doing a call to action? Are you asking people to make a referral? Are you asking for there's no call to action. It's just like, look at me. And I say this in a blanket statement.
I mean, you stay top of mind though. I mean, the more you post.
Yeah, and that's the marketing branding aspect. And then so how do you take market, which is passive, which is marketing and branding, and prospecting, which is more
like
hands-on. How do you mix the two? Do you even think about it in that way?
I don't think about it that way. I don't really use my social media for lead generation. I use it for educational content. I get leads through social media. I get referrals through social media based on the content I post. I use my Google business profile a lot. I had a client I just closed with. He found me on Google, gave me a call. And I said, why did you choose me out of all these other real estate agents, you know? And he said, because I went to your Facebook and I went to your Instagram and you were one of the only ones I saw that was posting educational content about real estate.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, awesome.
Right.
So that Google business profile, I still do Zillow leads. I picked up some amazing Zillow buyers in the last 3 weeks.
Okay. Congrats.
And even, with the laws and everything changing, I know it's crazy. It's crazy. But I have been so successful with Zillow leads.
Right. Well, buying online leads is a form of lead generation.
It is. Yeah. It is. And then when it comes to social media lead generation, I don't really put too much into it. I hope that people see my social media and when they want to buy or sell, they're like, oh, Ryan's doing all this stuff. Like, let me reach out to her.
Well, it's such a layered thing now.
It is.
Like, hey, I want you to use Ryan as your real estate professional. People are going to go, they're going to look at your website. They're going to try to find you on social media. Well, you go to social media and you realize, oh, this person's relatable.
I'm an open book. Even with the Zillow call, I said, hey, I'm like, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm like, if you want to know about me, I'm going to text you my resume because I have a professional resume too. I was like, I'm going to text you my resume. And then I want you to go look me up in social media. If you like my vibe, then let's chat. I want you to work with me because you like me.
Right.
I don't want to force you.
Yeah. I'm not trying to trick you into working with me.
No. Because I don't want to work with people that don't want to work with me. That's no fun.
Yeah. So I take that all the way back when I was coaching in college. They're like, we got to get this recruit. And I'm like, if they don't want to come here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to talk them into.
Because then it doesn't make the experience fun or enjoyable. If we don't like each other, that sucks.
That sucks. That's not fun. Yeah. You want to work with people you want to work with.
Exactly.
People trust and love. I've really, some clarity around social media for me, probably in the last year, is we had 2 parents that were on my kids' softball team. They've used multiple other real estate professionals, yada, yada, yada. But over the course of like 6 months and us sitting on the bleachers together watching games, we got to know each other. And then when they were ready to buy and sell a house, they're like, we really like Jimmy and Jennifer. Let's use them. So I think social media gives us that lens to, hey, this is who I am as a person. And oh, by the way, when you're ready to buy or sell a house, if you know me, love me, care about me, you're going to use me because that's what this business is about, the relationships you build. And social media allows you to scale that relationship building.
and being there for your kids' sports teams.
Yeah.
Like Prairie Village, I am a huge supporter, donator, whatever they need, they're probably calling me. They're calling me or Shirley's Way. Like, hey, can Ryan help us do this?
Right.
And like, because that ball field is in my backyard. So we walk there, like that is my home. So anything that they need, I'm going to try to help. And in turn, like they take care of me, that, a lot of them refer people to me, and then, getting to know the parents in the stands, and they see my face on the banners out on the field and stuff. But I think that's important. Community is so important in our business.
Well, and it's the ripple effect, right?
Yes.
You treat one person the right way, they trust you, they value you, and then they're going to give you two people, and those two people are going to give you two people. And that's how you scale a very successful business, whether you did it intentionally or not. I mean, you can go back to the tea leaves and read them when real estate started. Like, build a trustworthy community and a sphere of influence that knows your value and who you are as a person. And it just radiates from there. So.
And don't be the real estate agent that goes away. So, like, I've only been in since almost 4 years, and I moved.
You've already outlived the average lifespan of a real estate professional.
Close. But I moved a couple here from Michigan. I think it was my second year, and I'm the real estate agent that doesn't go away. So when they were ready to scale their business and buy a new house, of course, they reached out to me, and I stayed in contact with them over the years. And I've actually already started buying and selling twice for people. So,
So you're on their second, third home.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that, because I love working with them again. And we even recreated the original photo from their first closing, like where I'm holding their kids. And like, so when we were at the closing table, we did the same thing. So it's fun. I love it.
And you can tell that you genuinely love serving clients. And I think it's very important. Was it you that were telling me that you prefer to work with buyers than sellers?
I don't know. It's so funny, I was I had so many buyers for so long, especially with my investors. Now I'm more listing heavy. It's funny. So I guess I like working with both. Like I like investors, I like buyers, and I like sellers. So I don't have a niche, I guess, which I just don't. I like everybody.
Well, again, what I love about you, and I've talking with you over a couple years now, I think, is you grow. I don't know how intentionally you are about it, but you're growing your business the right way, whether you know how intentional.
Yeah, I think it's a hot ass mess. That's how I'm growing it. It's all over the place.
Well, you're serving your client. You have a great client experience, right? You do lead generating and prospecting every single day. I'm sure you're following up. You're accessible. Nobody doesn't know you're in real estate, which is good. I don't know how that was a lesson I learned early on. Is like a cousin knew somebody else, and he's like, I forgot you're in real estate. I'm like. And I wasn't mad at him, but then I was mad at myself. I was like, that was my fault. So, you started with buyers. Now you're listing heavy. So a healthy business is 60% listings, 40% buyers. Newer agents are usually
buyer heavy.
Yeah, buyer heavy.
And it's a lot of work when you're buyer heavy. I mean,
But the most sustainable business is pass and referral clients, because they just keep coming back, and you do a great job of that. So keep it up.
I've had several, I did photography for so long, which I still do very little photography. It's really hard to let go of 10 years or 12 years of clients.
That was going to be, if I had the opportunity, I was going to tell you to get rid of photography.
Yeah, I can't let it go. But I've actually helped several of my photography clients buy and sell too.
Right.
One of them moved away, and I was so sad. Like, I photographed their kids since they were babies. And
did you find them a real estate professional?
I did. They're renting now because he's in the military. But I do have a girl lined up for them in North Carolina when they're ready.
All right. Some tough questions now.
Uh-oh.
Do you know how many people are in your database?
In my database?
Yeah.
Probably about 1,500.
Okay. And these are people that you know, like
some of my Zillow leads go directly to my database too.
All right. So when I talk about database, I think about people that you, like, if I said, who is this? You'd be like, oh, that's my cousin's friend. Not a random.
No, I don't. I have a lot of spreadsheets. But no, I don't have, like, I don't know how many people are in my database, like, when it comes to, because, I have my neighbors and my neighborhood and all that. So I don't know.
Do you see yourself? So you eclipsed over 40 transactions last year.
68.
68. Yeah. The last calendar year, 68. The year before that, what was it?
It was close. I had a lot of investment properties that year. It was somewhere the same.
Yeah. At what point did you? And I think maybe your broker came to you and told you. But at what point did you know, like, I need leverage? I can't do every single thing.
well, actually, I didn't know. My broker came to me and he's like, "You're going to get sued." So he was like,
he was really saying is, "You're going to get me sued."
Yeah, exactly. No, they were like, "You need help. I mean, you're doing crazy amounts of volume by yourself, all the paperwork." So they referred my transaction coordinator to me, and I don't know how I was functioning without her. I tell her that every single day. I just met Claire face to face for the first time like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And she is
not my Claire, your Claire.
No, my Claire. I love her. She is just amazing. She's the best. She is worth her weight in gold. Like I adore her. She's so responsive to my clients because I didn't want to lose that hands-on feel by hiring someone.
That is always the objection for someone that's going to leverage their business.
It is.
They only want me.
Yeah, but no, Claire, I mean, she's part of me now. So she's part of my business model and everything. And my clients feel comfortable with her. They always rave about her. So
say, listen, you're not losing me. I'm bringing somebody on to help wrap our arms around you.
Yes.
So for somebody, a younger agent that is growing their business, and we usually see it between 30 and 40 transactions is really when that client experience can start breaking down. And it doesn't usually happen on the client side. It usually happens on the compliance side.
Yes.
Yeah. What would you say to them what did you feel when you started to leverage that off?
Oh my gosh. Relief. Like I can actually sit down at home at night and not be on my computer. I mean, I may be scrolling on my phone, but and my kids are playing, but literally I was on my computer all the time. And working on something, working on a listing, making sure all of my documents were together in .loop, but not having to worry about those little things has been making sure all my timelines, because she puts all of my inspection deadlines in my calendar and in my client's calendar, and I don't miss anything. Yeah. So it's great. Well,
and that's where you're going to get yourself sued is when you drop the ball.
When you've missed that inspection deadline or something like that, and then your client doesn't have time to respond. So yeah.
Let's see what else. I forgot to schedule a septic inspection. Didn't check HOA documents.
Yeah, and she does all of that, and I'm like, oh my god. And there's some things that she sent that before I'm like,
alarms.
I'm like, shoot, I didn't even think of that.
Right. Well, and that's again, I'm watching you grow through your business, and I love it. If you ever want to speed it up, let me know. I can really help you on a couple things. That was not an attraction play.
I appreciate it.
But we're 10 years ahead of you, and I've seen these same things. And if somebody that's very entrepreneurial like yourself, you're going to keep hitting the same ceilings, but you're going to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
We both know my wife. She doesn't change lanes until she runs into the back of a bus.
Yeah. I love her.
And I'm like, change lanes. But it's so much fun when you really start understanding and I'm not saying you don't, but the next level of inner workings of your business. It's like, wow, I get to focus nothing but on clients. And everybody else takes care of everything else. And it's...
Yeah, and that is something that I've talked about. And, my brokers have asked me about, the team aspect, if I had thought about, starting a team or something like that. And I don't know what's going to happen down the road. I do want to keep growing, and I do know that I can't sustain, I'm already over 10 million this year.
Yeah.
So it's... It's a lot. I told my husband last night, I was sitting on the couch after we got home from a late ball game, and I'm like, man, I'm tired. But I have clients that just wrote an offer on a house, and now they're going to be contingent. So I got to get their house on the market next week. So it's always something and I love it though. I thrive in chaos. I thrive in chaos. I'm ADHD, so I think that's what it's like a personality trait. Right. So
you're an alpha female. I love it.
Yes, I am.
All right, so let's get back into social media because I think that's your thing.
That's my thing.
It's been I know the positive side of it. What about the negative side of it?
Oh my gosh, so many haters. So I get the haters. You know who you are. Is there somebody else? Oh, there's a bunch. People are reporting me to NAR for things that I post, like GLAR. I don't know. I'm always in trouble. Andrea keeps me on my toes. No, it's not bad, but there are haters out there. So no matter what I post, I have to be mindful because there are people watching me, waiting for me to slip up. The trolls are always fun. I can't really clap back at them the way I want to because
that's the part of the South End you can't.
I know.
You gotta hold it in.
I have before.
It doesn't
and
get you
Andrea's like, rein it in. I'm like, okay. But some of my social media posts have gotten me in a little hot water.
Have you ever walked away from one that's gotten you in hot water and been like, oh, what were you thinking?
I'm trying to think. I'm going to tell you this story. I had a really, really funny video, and I got approval before I posted this video. But there's this guy on TikTok. His name's Brad. He goes around and he does like these crazy showings, and he cusses throughout the whole listing.
Oh, yeah.
So you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I asked my broker, I'm like, hey, can I do one of these videos? And she's like, yeah, sure. She let me do it on her listing.
Right.
Oh, it did not go over. I think I dropped the F-bomb way too many times.
Right.
But I said one line, which I can't repeat on this
you
podcast.
cuss like a sailor.
I do, but I said one line, which I'll tell you later. I can't repeat it on this podcast. And that's what got it pulled.
Yeah.
Because it insinuated harm.
Okay.
But it really wasn't. It was me saying that I would hurt somebody by protecting myself. So it was funny, in my opinion. But I kind of got my hand slapped a little bit on that one. Had to pull it down, which sucks because I made like $800 off that video.
How'd you make $800?
Because I get money by TikTok views.
Okay.
So when my views start growing, like I get paid.
Right.
So
did you have to return the money?
No. But when you pull the video, you don't have a chance to continue making money.
Okay.
So it kind of sucks.
So when a video gets traction.
Yeah, when it starts going viral, I get paid per view.
Okay. So here's my ignorant, and people tell me all the time, like, you need to monetize your social media. I'm like, I'm using it for brand awareness. They're like, no, you can literally get paid for stuff that you put out there.
People say that. So the only platform I get paid on is TikTok.
Okay.
I know people get paid on Instagram and on Facebook. I don't know how they do it. I have been trying to get a hold of somebody that can tell me how to get paid on Facebook.
Mark Zuckerberg, can you give Ryan a call, please?
I also don't want to post some of my TikToks on my Facebook. Like my TikTok is my happy place. Like it is where I can literally, sometimes I post some stuff over there. But TikTok's where I just rant and rave, and my followers there, they know that that's just me being me. But with Facebook, that's a whole different, like, they're crazy. They are ruthless. Like some of those people attack you.
Yeah. Well, and there's the ruthless people, and then I think it's an older demographic that doesn't, not that they don't understand, they don't value it or see it the same way that younger.
Yeah, my TikTok followers think I'm funny, so I don't know what these other people think.
Yeah, wherever you get your self-confidence from, that's fine.
Me? Oh gosh, I didn't have self-confidence until I think I was in my 30s. So honestly. Nice.
What's the next iteration of your social media marketing business? You're just going to keep doing, like, is there something you wanted to try? No,
I considered a podcast, but Jake in my office beat me to that. So I'm not going to do that. Thanks, Jake. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't think I could do anything else right now.
Why is somebody else doing it preclude you from doing it?
Well, I guess I could. Honestly, I just don't have time.
Yeah.
I want to keep growing my social media organically. Mm-hmm. I need to get back into doing those spotlight videos in the South End, which Julie and I were doing, but she has another job too. So it's really hard to schedule with her, but I kind of took a different spin on a different series. So I need to get back into that. But it's just been, it's been a really busy, like 6 months.
Right.
So
yeah. How are you going to continue to do content when you're scaling to 100 transactions a year?
Well, that's because my content is just me being me. Like literally, I at a red light this morning. I was talking about how many red lights I hit, and that's just me being me. But I do have I have a virtual assistant.
Okay.
So
you actually have two assistants.
I do.
Effectively. Yeah.
Yes. She helps me schedule content. She helps me with like reel creations. I film B-roll for her. So she does help me a lot. Obviously it's still my branding. It's still all me, but she helps me schedule posts. Right. So I don't have to go in and do that.
Okay.
And
so you leveraged a little bit more than I gave you credit for.
Yeah, actually, so I had a virtual assistant for almost a year, and she recently had some health issues, and so I just recently had to hire a new one. Mm-hmm. So I've been onboarding her for the past couple weeks, and she's jumping in head first. And good. Yeah, so
that's always when you start hiring, Jarbo's or Claire's great. Like she has her own little thing that she knows the transaction care part. It's the other assistant that's trying to figure out who you are and keep them.
And if they're not in this country, it makes it even harder.
Right.
So, yes. but I never wanted like my virtual assistant. I don't want her doing my transaction coordination. Like I want Claire because she's local. Right. She's licensed. She can have real estate conversations. And then my virtual assistant, she knows how to do all the social media stuff.
So she's more of a marketing assistant. Okay.
Yes.
Love it.
Helps me get the content out there.
Yep. You need a Claire like I've got.
Oh, I need another Claire.
Yeah.
Like, is she just your go-to for everything?
She literally keeps our life together at this point since about June 4th.
Now, does Claire do all of your posting? What?
Yeah, she does. She literally does a little bit of everything.
Everything? Yeah.
She's got our Airbnb up and running. She takes care of the kids when we can't get to them.
So you have basically a full-time like assistant that could be business and personal.
I'm trying to get her to move into the basement. I feel like we'll blur lines between job roles at that point. But yeah, so she's been awesome. The great thing about her is she actually known her. When did we move in? She was our next door neighbor. And then we helped her buy a house, and then she graduated from college, and so it's been a great fit. But yeah, when you find the right person to really help, and it's not even multiply; it's just like allow you to enjoy being able to be successful.
Does she do? I was talking to Andrea about this not too long ago. When do you do Popeyes for your clients, and like you don't do any Popeyes or anything like that? Because she was telling me about another agent, I think that was in Indiana, that she literally has a team that does like everything for her. So she'll do the Popeyes, organize client appreciation events and everything like that. And so,
Claire, do you want to do that?
Yeah, like I'm just over here adding more to Claire's plate. Sorry.
No, that's probably the.
No, I like to hear from other people about kind of how they do things. Like, because that's kind of one of the things that. Another problem of mine is I hate to ask for help.
Opportunity. It's not a problem.
Well, I hate to ask for help. So I've learned recently that the vendors that I use to ask them for help, like to help me sponsor events. So I reached out to one of my title companies. I'm like, I want to do a client appreciation event. So I'm like, can you help me with some ideas? Yes. Yeah. And so we're kind of working on that. And I actually, another thing, a great thing that I don't know if your agents do this or not, but it's really been awesome for me. I created a Facebook group from all of my past clients, and I added them all to that group. And occasionally I'll post like Starbucks gift cards for them to go like get a Starbucks on me or something like that. So I post recommendations, and like if they need anything, they can post in that group, and it's just my clients. But I posted in there like a poll on a client appreciation event, so they can kind of weigh in what they would like.
And they get agency on.
Yes. So I'm trying to get kind of what makes sense for them. I gave them like 6 options, and then they could write in. So we're still working on that.
I love that idea of getting buy-in from your past clients, because those are your VIPs.
My group name is Ryan's VIPs. That's exactly what the group name is called.
So how many people are in there?
Right now, 68.
68.
But my investors, he's in there, but he bought 100 properties from me. So
in 2 years.
Yes. Bought and sold. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're done right now, which makes me sad, but I'm like, if you come back around, you know where to find me. But I think one of your agents worked with them before.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot. There's actually, they had 4 or 5 buyer's agents going at the same time. You talk about some people that bought up.
Crazy.
Yes. It was very, very crazy.
I appreciate them, but man, they ran me down in 2022. Whew, that was a wild year.
All right. It was a wild year for everybody, I think. It was, all right, so one of the things I always like to hit on is peace, profit, and purpose.
Okay.
So profit being the metric in which you gauge success, whether it's financial, business, personal, whatever. And then why are you here? Why is Ryan Cecil here? And if you could have the most peaceful moment in the world, what would it be?
Oh, gosh. You're going to put me on the spot like this. What was the first question?
Profit.
Profit. Obviously, I want to provide for my family. I spent so long letting a corporate company determine my worth and my value. And then they just dropped me like a bad habit out of nowhere when I thought I was going to retire from that company. So I'm determined to not let anybody else determine my worth again. So I want to provide for my family, my clients. And that's kind of how I measure success, and repeat clients.
Yeah.
So they're coming back to me.
Right.
So
clients, repeat clients, and referrals. What, so do you have the number in your mind that you have to make each year?
Oh, no, I don't do that.
Why?
Because
if you're going to provide for your family, how you know how much you have to provide?
Look, the guy that handles my family investments, me and Ryan, we've been investing since our early 20s. He told me that I only had to make $25,000 a year. when I first lost my job, because and obviously that's not the case, but
my anxiety level
I know. Well, we were really nervous when I lost my job, just like about retirement and stuff like that. But that was 4 years ago, so we got to go back and see him.
Yep.
But no, I don't have a number. I would love to sell at least $5 million a year.
Okay. You're doing 10.
Yeah, I know, but I don't take any of that for granted, because I don't know if that's going to be every year.
Right.
So I feel like 5 is an achievable number for me.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's kind of, and I think that's comfortable.
And for viewers out there that don't know our language, we're not talking about she's making $5 million.
No, God, no.
That is the volume of the sale of the homes. Yeah.
So what would that put us at? Even at like 2 to 2, I don't math.
Yeah.
Like
$100,000.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I pay my own taxes, so that's without taxes. So people don't understand all the costs that go into real estate. Like, they think I'm making $100,000 a year, but no.
The more taxes you pay, the more money you made, though.
Like, yeah, I think true. Like 5 to 7 is doable, livable. Obviously, anything above that is awesome, because me and my husband are trying to pay things off, and one day I want to have a lake house. So
right. I'll sell you mine. You can.
Hey, where's it at?
Where is it? Diplomat Shores, right next to Moody Deer. Moody Deer.
Oh, so it's an Olin. All right, keep me posted.
Will do. All right, purpose. Why are you on this earth?
Why am I on this earth?
Yeah.
To be awesome. No.
That shirt actually makes that statement perfect. Yeah.
I'm just here to be me, help people, and I don't know why I'm here on this earth. I guess my mom and my dad.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I didn't say how did you get here. So, what is your purpose?
No, I just I want to make a difference in people's lives. There's been so many awesome things that have happened in real estate in my career. Like the people that I've helped. I worked with one girl for 2.5 years. She went through the Metro Down Payment Assistance Program, and she ended up getting like $37,000 in down payment assistance. Like when she finally closed on her house, like that's what I'm here for, like that excitement. And like, she thought she'd never be able to do it. And then I had another 22-year-old who came to me. She's like, Ryan, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. She had just graduated nursing school. And I was like, well, let's meet face to face and talk about it. So we met with my lender, and literally like 45 days later, we were closing on her house. Like, and she just didn't think, because she didn't know. So like, helping people that don't know that they can do this.
Yeah.
Like so many people just don't think they can buy a house, but they haven't sat down with anybody and talked about it.
Yep.
So I want to be a resource and an asset to people.
Don't lose sight of that, because that's probably the one thing that I think very successful real estate professionals lose sight of, is how important that transaction can be.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We put a referral in a house, nicest young man, fiance, and I didn't think much about it. It was like, and I like the guy, but it was a transaction, and I called him to follow up to see how the house was. He goes, I just want to let you know, this is the first time I've ever spent Christmas in a house owned by somebody in my family.
Oh.
And I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like, it's so impactful. And, when you can't lose sight of that. Because,
no.
And you assume, you meet somebody that's bought 5 houses, and you're just assuming, they know what they're doing. It's not a big deal. And then you find out the why behind their move or whatever. And don't lose sight of that.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Unsolicited advice. All right. What brings you peace?
I would say my kids, but these days they're not. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think if anybody said describe your most peaceful situation, it'd be like sitting at the beach with my 7 kids.
No, gosh, my life's not very peaceful, to be honest.
Well, if you could create peace around your life, what would it look like?
I need clones. I had clones of me.
So it's not doing less. It's how to make it where I can do more.
Yeah. See, I have a problem.
One person has said they would go to work. And
go to work?
Yeah.
Like, why?
That was Joey Craig. He's like, I love it. It's all I've ever known. I love being around cars. I love being around people. I love being around my business partners. And he said, that's the most peaceful place I can go. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
My wife used to tell me when I was a teacher, she's like, you're so lucky you get to leave and go to the classroom. I'm like, actually, you're kind of right.
Oh yeah. And that's I think me and my mother-in-law were talking about that the other day. Like, I could have never been a stay-at-home mom. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the hardest job that there is, no matter what. I was
a stay-at-home dad for 3 years.
Yeah. I love to work. Like, I love what I do. I am pretty peaceful at the lake.
Okay.
I like the lake.
Where do y'all go?
Family. We go to Nolan or Rough.
Okay.
So we go to both. My parents have a place at Nolan, and we're wishy-washy about where we're
Where
going to
they
go.
at on Nolan?
Canalaway.
Okay.
Yep. So I like the lake. I like the beach, things like that. I'm happy at home. I don't like to go out. I've turned into my husband. Like, it's so funny. When we first got together, like 17 years ago, I was like the wild child and like going out to the bars. Of course, that was also before kids, but I just like to be at home. I like to be with my family. Like, our kids are with us basically all the time. We've never been on a trip, just us together. So like we just like to be at home and with each other. And even though sometimes we're just ignoring each other and our faces are in our iPads or whatever, we're just homing together.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Same here. Love that.
yeah.
All right. We got 2 minutes left. Is there anything you want to talk about?
No.
No.
You don't have any more questions for me? Come on.
I mean, I could come up with something, but I feel like an hour worth of unsolicited digging into your business.
No, yeah. I don't have anything to add, I don't think. Follow me on social media.
Yeah. Hashtag TikTok, Face Jam.
Best Louisville agent. So it's like, well, so that's another thing, talking about the haters, which obviously it was a violation. So I had to change my handle. But Best Louisville Realtor, I had that as my hashtag just because I wanted people to know I was a real estate agent and everything. But that's a violation. You can't have a descriptive word before realtor because it's trademarked. So I had to change it to Best Louisville agent. Yeah, and tons of agents still have it. I'm looking at y'all. So you can't have like you can't even have like Best Louisville Realtor. You can't have
Louisville Realtor?
You can't have Louisville Realtor. It has to be like agent. Yeah. Even in like my signature, it said licensed and it was said Kentucky and Indiana licensed realtor.
Okay.
Can't have that. You can't have licensed in front of realtor.
Well, because realtor means your license.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about, so we had a minute and a half. NAR, what has that done for your business and thoughts on how you view that? And
it hasn't changed my business yet. I've actually been very lucky in explaining the new buyer rules to my Zillow leads, explaining, and honestly, it saves me time because I know they have to sign an agreement with me to go see a house. There's no way around it.
It's been the most mind-numbing year because when you hire somebody for professional services, you should enter into a contract.
100%. And even if it's just a one, and I tell them, I said, look, we have a one-time showing agreement. If you decide you don't like me at the house, you can tell me to kick rocks and never talk to me again. Right. But in order for me to show you this house, we have to sign this.
We have to have a written agreement.
Yes.
I'm representing you in me opening this door. So,
and on the seller side, my commission or my seller's commission, it is what it is. Like if we're going to sell your house quickly, we need to offer that buyer's agent compensation. Here's buyer broker compensation.
Yeah. Here's my rate, and we'll entertain anything that's on the offer that comes in.
Yes, exactly. So, exactly.
Yeah, there were 18 states that already did
it. Yes. Kentucky's just behind, as we are in everything. Sheesh.
I won't go that far.
I mean, a lot.
We're ahead in bourbon. We're ahead in horse racing. Our football team's pretty dang good this year.
Yeah. We do have a good football team. So go Cards.
Yep. All right, Ryan, thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank you. I'm so glad you had me.
Yes, ma'am. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.